What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today, we have a really cool one. This is one of these meta TFT replays. If you guys haven't seen these before, essentially, we have the entire game here for you guys. I can pan over to anybody's POV. It's essentially like I'm spectating the game, but it's in replay format. And we are watching Dasic today because Dasic played a comp that I'm really interested in looking at. This is one I've seen barely any people playing, but after watching, or really just seeing the result of this game, I have not watched most of this game through. After seeing the results of this game, I wonder if this line might just be free elo if you are given the spot for it. So Dasic starts off here with just a little bit of a bilge opener. No Twisted Fate yet. Our Ionia is the stacking, like long fights one. And a lot of the early units were being dropped here. You know, nothing worth really writing home about. We have, maybe an IE Slam if we want to play into some kind of AD line here. Let's pause going into first augment here. Fish and Chopper, Sposivore, Pandora's items here. Yeah, I mean, once again, nothing that I'm like so hyped about. Taking, I think Pandora's is fine if you want to like force a line here, but we don't really have a line to force here. I guess you could force T-Hex here. Speaking of T-Hex, by the way, we do have a Caitlyn and an IE Slam. So this is one of the instances where it's actually kind of nice to be able to pan around the and see. I mean, this guy has a really good line into T-Hex, it looks like. And that is maybe it. This guy has a Caitlyn, I guess, and a glove. So we'll see what Mr. Dasic wants to take here. Yeah, I mean, once again, not that hyped about that one. Carve a path, decent enough, I guess, if you want to play into some kind of T-Hex line. That you'd rather have a stronger early game to take this one. But yeah, hey, get out of my way. Overlays and hotkeys, who cares about that? All right. I'll speed this up because it looks like he's really thinking on augment here, actually. I mean, Dasic agreeing that like these options are all not that great. Roll, and we actually end up finding Patience is a Virtue as our last augment, and that is our grab here. And yeah, he opts to hold on to this Rek'Sai here with Patience is a Virtue. And yeah, so this is his shop buys. He's going to purchase Rek'Sai here, and then just chill on this board for now. So we'll see, actually. I mean, I wonder if in Dasic's head he's already committed to Rek'Sai Reroll. I mean, obviously, prior to taking this augment, we couldn't have been committed because we didn't know that we had the Rek'Sai yet. But yeah, it almost to me seems like Dasic literally just sees one Rek'Sai and with Patience of Virtue says, okay, I'm going to have a lot of free rolls. I mean, you could certainly see this just playing into some kind of, regular Void Kai'Sa game, and you do have one of the most important things for Void is that we have the Kai'Sa 2-1. We can also look at our Void upgrades here. We have Iron Carapace, the best tank one, the auto attack gain damage amp one, and the Leeching Nucleus one. Once again, I don't know, actually, the more I look at this, I'm interested that we ended up down this line because, I mean, I would think a lot of people really like the Spikes one. Wow. Okay, so yeah, we're going to use our rolls here to pick up Bard here. And so yeah, this is ideas that you can use Patience of Virtue. Sack, he didn't even get the first 2 rerolls off this, so we were actually forced to burn 2 real rerolls to pick up Bard here. And then we are going to play for Bard this game. So it's a Bard already unlocked here. We have the Rek'Sai already. Yeah, I mean, if I were in this spot, I would be thinking, okay, well, I'm just unlocking Bard here. I'm picking up these Void units, and I'm playing towards a Void game here. But Dasic clearly not thinking that. He's going to pick up the Bow Rek'Sai off Carousel, which I think is another kind of indicator towards playing Rek'Sai. But I will say the last thing, we'll talk about it as we get there. I think the thing that really commits us to Rek'Sai actually is going to come a little later. But in any case, we hit Rek'Sai 2 here. We can play Kog'Maw here, probably make 20 Slim, the Gwynsu's Rage Blade, which it doesn't have to say on Rek'Sai. Does not have to be, like we could obviously keep this Gwynsu's Rage Blade on Rek'Sai for the early game and then move it over later to Kai'Sa. Or, we could actually keep this as a potential Rek'Sai item. Just Rek'Sai. If you guys haven't played around this unit, by the way, oh, that's the Chosif Gath here. Basically, one of these units that it doesn't dash the full 4 hexes like some of these 4 costs, only dashes 3 hexes, but does the 3 hex dash and then does a little bit of damage and then slashes AoE. So yeah, it's one of these units that when positioned correctly can get kind of insane backline access. And also has that kind of like little AoE function as well, where you can make it kind of easy for you to potentially, you know, kill a few extra units on the front line. You know, if you end up stuck on the front line, not the end of the world because you can just AoE them all down. But yeah, we take our 5 loss here, as is often the case with Patience of Virtue. We are just loss streaking here, though. I mean, we do have the Rek'Sai too, so our board is not far off actually being quite strong. Really just want to get to Vanquisher, and yeah, I think around here, once we hit this 4th Rek'Sai, I think we're really starting to think, okay, it may very well be a Rek'Sai reroll game. So we're going to continue. Wow, we've had Twisted Fate too as well here, which obviously that's going to get sold here. And then we can hold on to the extra Rek'Sai here. Item-wise here for Rek'Sai. And yeah, okay. So as we continue to hit the Rek'Sais here, 5th Rek'Sai comes up. I think we are really... So I wonder... I bet, honestly, that this game was a, not necessarily expected to be a Rek'Sai reroll game, but we picked up so many Rek'Sais on the way that we started saying, okay, this very well could be a Rek'Sai reroll game, and then I will show you guys, but I feel like this next thing is the thing that really commits us to Rek'Sai here, and we made the Guardbreaker, which is kind of interesting. I guess his idea is, you know, eventually Guardbreaker IE here, but yeah, I'm not actually sure. All right, because yeah, let's actually, I have Rek'Sai items over here, so let's check these out for a second. And this is just Rek'Sai with 3 items. If you filter down to Rek'Sai 3, you get like basically 0 sample here. But yeah, I mean, Rek'Sai with 3 items, you can see the highest performing build, like this one, which performs a lot better than these other ones, is Titan Stair XBT. So, you know, maybe the more bruiser type Rek'Sai, the stuff like IE seems to perform quite poorly. So yeah, and if you do this, like I said, legit just 0 sample there. So yeah. All right, Thorn-Plated Indecision, gain 21 gold here. I mean, we're 73 HP, so I'm a little skeptical about taking something like Indecision. But here's the thing: we roll, we see unsealed from steel here, hardest augment ever to say. And we basically insta-roll everything else, pick it up immediately. And this is the idea, is that Darkin Scythe Rek'Sai is actually really strong. It's you have the upside where Rek'Sai is actually a unit that, you know, has a dash built in, so that does actually give you extra slashes. It is also just, you know, synergistic with the way that Rek'Sai's kit works. You're AoEing down units, and then you're also slashing adjacent units, so you can actually like clear through frontline very quickly. And I mean, the last piece of just, I guess, evidence here is that if you go to Rek'Sai items and you sort by delta, boom, look at that, minus 0.93. This takes Rek'Sai 3 from a unit that, you know, pretty bad average as far as 2 costs go, 4.7, down to a 3.89, which for a 3-star 2 cost is fantastic. So this, I think, is the real enabler. I mean, you look at this compared to anything else, even Titan's Resolve, which is, you know, looking like one of our best items onto Rek'Sai, and it just looks disgusting. I will say as well, if you filter down just to see builds here, and you have to go way down in the stats to find stuff, you have stuff like QSS Hodge, which I guess makes some sense here. I do believe most of the time when you are playing Darkin Scythe, and I can show the example of Darkin Scythe Tryndamere here, because it's quite good on him. Darkin Scythe does really like IE, just because you can actually crit the scythe if you have IE, essentially. So this is why this works really well on Tryndamere. I imagine the exact same idea would work well onto Rek'Sai here, but we'll see where our build goes from here, because we did make that guard breaker. But Darkin Scythe gets taken here. I imagine we are going to you know, remove items at this point, but we are just full sending it here for the Rek'Sai, because I mean, it's level 6. We might as well find as many as we can, and you might as well roll on whatever round you can at this point, right? You the sooner you can roll, the better. With the fact that you can only buy units for 1 round, right? But you can see this Rek'Sai here starts dashing and actually is doing a lot of damage here. I mean, this fight was basically only Rek'Sai 4.6k. Just kind of cleared, and remember as well, we still don't even have a Void upgrade on this Rek'Sai, right? I feel like this spot, from the perspective of Void upgrades, is actually pretty mediocre, but from the perspective of great items, I mean, we are very happy, and it is still kind of awkward Rek'Sai items. It's interesting. Like, we have the Darkin Scythe here, but, you know, Gwynsu Guardbreaker, I don't think is really like Bis. We now get Void 4 in here so that we can get this extra upgrade onto the Rek'Sai here, which is going to provide a ton of damage amp for the Darkin Scythe and for everything here, which is nice here. We do fight a pretty tanky frontline here, so yeah, we are actually going to take a loss just because, yeah, I mean, too tanky of a board to get through. Level 7 Darth Noob here with great combat augment, great everything. We do at least unlock the Herald here, so that's a nice pickup, and I feel like that means we're going to roll next round. This is also a BV, Belveth here with Glove. He doesn't want it, actually. He wants to pick up the tier on Rek'Sai just for the Rek'Sai here so that we have really good odds of finding Rek'Sai 3 this round. Curious what that's going to mean we build here. Maybe just a Vow. You probably don't want to make Shojin and send that onto Kai'Sa, but maybe that's something. But yeah, I mean, I think this means Rift Herald here, 2 free rerolls, going to roll here. I am tempted to roll deeper here just because of our augments here, but looks like Dasik is not tempted because you've already bought 1 unit this round, so you might as well roll and try to hit the Rek'Sai, but Dasik doesn't agree. He thinks, you know, like, if we roll here and we roll down to like 10 gold, our econ is just going to be in a horrible spot, and he would rather forego, you know, a future couple of rerolls than, you know, really lose his spot with you know, rolling deeper for, you know, hitting all the Rek'Sais, but then, you know, we're like 10 gold or something. Rather just skip 2 rolls and then stay here. And oh, actually we end up hitting the Rek'Sai in 1 chop anyway. So there's the Rek'Sai 3. 34 gold here, 64 HP here, and triple item onto Rek'Sai. Now we're gonna see this comp really flourish. I mean, I would say, I mean, we hit the Rek'Sai. We've definitely high rolled some of the Rek'Sais, but just thinking about like how average this game is, I mean, we took a very strong silver econ augment. So I don't think this is like that much faster than tempo. I feel like tempo is probably 4-1 and we hit it on 3-6. So really not that much faster than normal here. And we still have to kind of figure out our item situation is the one thing I'm kind of worried about as a Dasik fan in this game here. The other kind of funny thing is we need to make it to 8 to unlock Kai'Sa, but we are so broke, so it's gonna be a while before we make it there. But all good. The Rek'Sai should be able to carry us. Pick up Rod, pick up Bow. There's that Titans that was appearing so much in the stats. I imagine that'll replace Gwynsu, but I don't know. I would still really like to get towards an IE. You know, I would think something like IE Darkin Scythe maybe Hodge or IE Darkin Scythe QSS would be the dream, but I don't think we're gonna be able to get to all that stuff. Gonna make, wow, DB here as the item and move Guard Breaker down and another Gwynsu. Wow, okay. I mean, these are crazy items. Just no survivability at all on the Rek'Sai. We are just hoping that the Rift Herald is enough to keep the Rek'Sai alive here. And I mean, hey, in this fight, well, the Rek'Sai ended up dying, but we did do a lot of damage to this front line here. So I guess you can't really, I don't think you can blame the Rek'Sai for this fight. It's a crazy Rek'Sai build, but I respect it here. All right. Oh, CB, I think. Yeah, I mean, he just rolls so fast here to look at the CB because this is exactly what we're missing, right? Is some survivability onto the Rek'Sai here. And that's what CB does. It allows us to survive longer here. Yeah, we can also talk about Rek'Sai positioning because this is, you know, one we haven't really looked at that much. It reminds me of Multi-Striker Akali. What set was that? Set 11 or 12 or something, where, you know, it dashes 3 hexes away. The way that I would always position Multi-Striker Akali to get her to go backline is that you kind of wanted her opposite side of a main carry, like this Yunara here. So you'd want her kind of like to the, like a little bit on the left here, such that she can dash here and then she can dash here, is, you know, how I would always play. So like Rek'Sai here, like 3rd from this side or 3rd from this side, and then allow her to dash and then dash, is the way that I played Akali in that set, and it went very well. And I still, you know, I feel like no brag, but I feel like I was somebody who, you know, figured out that tech before a lot of other people did. I feel like Rek'Sai should be the same way because she's the same type of targeting. And yeah, eventually, I mean, this fight we're just always going to win because this Rek'Sai is a beast compared to this unit. I guess the idea, by the way, is that, you know, obviously the Darkin Scythe scales its damage off your basic attack damage. So we're just going giga basic attack damage Rek'Sai here is the idea. I'm so afraid of having no survivability here, but Dasik is not afraid, and I respect it there. And I mean, if you do have a giant Rift Herald in front of your Rek'Sai, you don't have to worry too much about damage. All right, gonna level up here. Are actually going to burn some of our rolls here before even unlocking the Kai'Sa, which is interesting. I would have thought you would just chill for a round here and then roll next round. We do hit a lot of good stuff here. We find the Wukong 2 is a great add onto this board here. We find the Swain here, who's a good guy on this board as well. Will be a lot of our +1s because obviously we're going to play around 6 Void very likely, and then a couple of +1s. Fight T-Hex board, and the Rek'Sai just clears it. Ooh, baby. I mean, yeah, I feel like this comp should actually have a pretty good matchup in a T-Hex because, like, the T-Hex is never going to, like, snipe and kill the Rek'Sai here. T-Hex is always just going to have trouble getting there. All right, we do it Kai'Sa 2 really quick, move items here, and it does look like we're opting out of playing 6 Void here, though we'd rather play, I mean, wow. The second we pick up the GP, we get the GP in, and the board starts to look really nice here. Okay, so his thought is actually that this is the optimal way to play the board, is not 6 Void, but 4 Void, just because you can get so many better traits in, right? You really want to have Vanquisher in for the Rek'Sai. Also, oh my god, the Kai'Sa manages to pop off at the end. You get all these extra frontline traits in by playing this as well. Obviously, you know, you get the Bruiser, and then you get the Swain in, and then the... It's funny, we're not even playing Cho'Gath for Juggernaut, but we're playing the Shiv for Juggernaut. It's a cool board, and I mean, it makes sense, right? The Rek'Sai gets the upgrade, because I mean, if we get to this last upgrade for Void, it would just allow us to put something, you know, put an upgrade onto Kai'Sa as well, which would be nice, but I think getting all these extra upgrades makes a lot more sense. Roll down, pick up the 2-star on the Rift Herald here, going to make a tank item here, and then, ooh, gonna finally swap over and make QSS onto the Rek'Sai, right? Yep. QSS finally gets made here, has really good synergy with this this Darkin item, as you saw in the stats earlier. I and QSS are the ones that are really enjoyed with this item, and then we can just move the DB over to Kai'Sa, which looks a little sketch, I will say. But I mean, hey, she auto attacks. I've seen worse. Yeah, she actually, that made her form change into the AD version of Kai'Sa because of all the AD from DV. That's kind of crazy. All right, we do also get Mbessa in just as a better Vanquisher, and I guess you could also try to fit. Oh wow, he has a lot of Kai'Sas on the way. Okay, finds GP2, so he's gonna end up playing that instead. I guess there's a way to fit Noctis on this board. You could play Scion, but I mean, you're not going to play Scion after not stacking him the whole game. So I'm not actually sure what other, you know, Noxus we'd be looking at playing on this board here. If we do play, you know, like the Mbessa, Mel Medarda, I mean, maybe some kind of like weird, eventually play like Mel Mal's or something, but I don't think you can really fit all that. I think this is going to be a lot of what our board is going to stay on for the rest of the game. And it also seems like Dasik just likes the frontline Rek'Sai, or well, yes, frontline obviously, but the front and center Rek'Sai here to allow her to dash to the corner and then kind of dash. I mean, it seems still hard for me to get the idea that she's going to dash straight to the corner after this. I feel like a Rek'Sai is never dashing like dash and then on second dash going corner here, but she's still doing a lot of work, and she is also staying on a lot of these like really solid frontliners with this positioning here. Last tank item here, Warmogs would be great here. You could also, you know, take a Titan's Resolve if you really need to, but yeah, Warmogs looks very good here, and we do really need that last tank item. Onto the Rift Herald here. We are missing Heal Cut, Armor Shred, MR Shred. I guess you don't even need MR Shred because we've form changed into AD Kai'Sa, so she's probably doing majority, all physical damage. So we really just need like an Even Shroud and a Sunfire and throw those onto Wukong or something and then call it a day. But we have neither of those right now. All right, Rek'Sai. Oh my god, wait, that was a huge Rek'Sai dash. I didn't know that she could... She ended up AoEing because she was hitting a unit next to the Yunara. She ended up AoEing the Yunara, actually. That was crazy. Okay, maybe that's part of the reason why Dasik wants to go for this positioning, is to allow for interesting stuff like that to happen. Also, check this out. Dasik down to 30 HP. It looks like he's very quietly considering a Kai'Sa 3 Rift Herald 3 out, using Patience as a virtue. There's, you know, very easy... ways to, you know, hit these guys 3-star when you're getting 2 rolls per round. I mean, if we get to, you know, the end of this round and we have an extra 8 rolls, get a little bit of gold off minions, I mean, you could see us hitting there. The only downside is this guy, the Demacia guy, is holding on to, let's see, let's check who that is there. That's Bosso. Okay, so Bosso here is holding on to a Kai'Sa. Should be unlikely that anyone else is holding on to Rift Herald, yeah, but will be quite tough to hit Kai'Sa. So yeah, he does actually end up selling his whole bench here and says, with Bosso holding Kai'Sa, it's a little too risky, and I'd rather just take the consistent push level 9 here and spike here, which is also interesting. It looks like he is just holding on to GP with the idea, I guess, of eventually maybe the dream is unlock Atrox, but I don't know how we would even unlock him really from this spot here. Does end up just throwing Lucian Senna on the board actually as our last in here, and ends up taking Bramble here as just an extra tank item. Throw it onto the Swain here. Okay, not bad. Rotate into a 3-star Draven board. The Rek'Sai is going to go on backline, and oh my god, just blows up the Draven. This Rek'Sai unit's a beast, especially with this Quicksilver. And yeah, I really do feel like the Darkin Scythe Rek'Sai is really what's enabling this comp, just clearing people. We do pick up the Fiddlesticks as well, who's just a fantastic in on this board. And yeah, just the Lucian Senna on this board for the utility of playing Lucian Senna might as well throw those guys onto the board. There's not really much else to be played here. All right. Rotate into the Demacia board. Here we really want to get on backline because this board is so tanky frontline-wise. Rek'Sai kind of gets stuck on the right side here, but eventually, yep, going to go backline. Lives for so long and actually kills almost everything, but just barely not enough. The Vayne locks in here at the end and clears us, Sag. I mean, it was a close fight. This is such a close fight to being a dove, but just couldn't kill the Vayne in time. And the Vayne, really, really annoying single target damage for our board, right? But, I mean, you can see the board, I mean, an easy top 4. Darkin Scythe, once we hit that, we were just clearing everybody, and we'll see what we can play for from here. This person actually moved their carries up. It's really scary to me. I thought Rek'Sai was just going to dash straight to the Unara there, but doesn't actually go. So this is actually looking pretty good for the other board, but Rek'Sai, oh my god, just clears the whole board. I mean, how much? 12, almost 13k damage from Rek'Sai here. I mean, she's just a monster. She's just clearing the entire board. That's top 4, top 3 locked in here. We are looking at, there is the IE there if we ever really wanted it. But looks like we're just gonna take the Starox here. I'm gonna grab that, and is that better than Guinsoo onto Rek'Sai here? I mean, it feels like the Rek'Sai has been quite survivable even without the tank item. So yeah, no, we're gonna keep the Guinsoo onto Rek'Sai here, and then just gonna move tank items over to the Monkey King here. All right, I like it. Rotate into this guy again, Darth Noob, with a very, very strong Rise and everything else board. Rek'Sai having trouble getting on backline here. Did clear the whole front line, I guess, and Rift Herald is alive. And we're going to kill the Rise. Oh my god, it's close. Oh my god, the Rek'Sai. No way. No way. That fight was like literally anything off of swinging, like literally one tiny extra upgrade and we would have won the fight. We do pick up Lucian Senna too, who is now going to become our main carry, hilariously enough, because yeah, I mean, it's a better carry than the Kai'Sa too, especially AD Kai'Sa with some kind of weird items. These items actually, you know, pretty good on Lucian Senna. All right, Rek'Sai here still in a pretty good spot to go backline. Wait, we just deleted the Vayne there. I mean, that's huge for us. The Lux, I doubt, has the single target damage to kill the Rek'Sai, and yeah, that's unless Galio clutches it up, is going to be a dub here, which means, oh my god, actually, we almost lost that fight, but that means Darth Noob goes down, and it's just us and Bosso skills. Oh my god, this portal is the one. This is the Baron Nashor portal that gives all the 70 extra gold here, which is going to allow us to push 10. Which is going to allow us to play, I'm still not actually sure what we're going to end up on. He's also holding a lot of Lucian and Senna's here for potential Lucian Senna 3 outs, but I mean, I'd be surprised if we have the gold to hit that. No, we just hit everything here. Throw Gunslinger in as our last +1 here, and are going to pick up the IE as our last item here as well, and then move Guinsoo's down to Kai'Sa. Beautiful stuff here. This board as well from Bosso, pretty nicely capped. Did pick up the Galio too here. We'll see if Rek'Sai can get oh, I think Rek'Sai got blown up way too hard early in this fight. Rough fight RNG for Dasik here, so only a top 2, but still, top 2, Rek'Sai reroll. I mean, I just thought I had to VOD review this game because it was such a cool board, such a cool play, and you know, one that this is the first time I've seen somebody play Rek'Sai reroll. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch and Metafile. All my links down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching as always.